What is going on, everybody? It is the HHN Dawg here, the leader of the pack, and welcome back to HHN Dawg's horror movie reviews. In today's episode, by the shirt I am wearing and by the title of this video, today I will be reviewing The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick and released in 1980. Now, if you have not seen this movie, I advise you to stop this video right now and watch the movie. But if you have seen this movie multiple times like I have, you know how big of a classic this is. So, basically, the plot of this movie is Jack Torrance, played by the very talented Jack Nicholson, goes to the Overlook Hotel for a job interview as the winter caretaker of the Overlook Hotel. He gets the job, and he brings along his wife, Wendy Torrance, played by Shelley Duvall, and their son, Danny Torrance, played by Danny Lloyd. So as the movie progresses, Jack starts losing his mind, and he starts hearing things and seeing things, and then he ends up following the, he ends up wanting to kill his family like Delbert Grady did, long before Jack did. So now Jack has the choice to kill his family, so he grabs that famous axe and he starts chasing his family throughout the hotel. And this movie, like I've said, if you've seen this movie, you know how classic it is. It will forever be a classic film. So then, as the movie progresses, Jack Torrance delivers that famous line as his wife Wendy's trying to escape away from her deranged husband. The famous line when he's busting through the bathroom door and he says, "Here's Johnny," which will forever be a classic scene and a classic visual too, with the way he looks at Wendy, like that right there. That will forever be a classic visual. And then as the film keeps on progressing, Wendy and Danny, and then Danny ends up getting chased by his father through the hedge maze, which that's another awesome visual to always look at in the movie, and that's another awesome scene. And then Wendy and Danny end up escaping, and poor Jack is left at the Overlook, frozen in the snow and ice. So that's my best way of putting the plot to The Shining without giving away too many spoilers. Again, if you have not seen this movie, I recommend you watching this movie after this review. Overall, this movie, forever a classic. It is my all-time favorite horror movie. I don't care how many times I watch this movie, it will never get old. Great cast in this movie. Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, Danny Lloyd, Scatman Crothers, who plays Dick Halloran, Barry Nelson, Philip Stone, Joe Turkel, and Jackson. Great cast lineup. And Stanley Kubrick did a great job making this movie. And of course, if you know the history of the Shining movie, you know that Stephen King, the author of the Shining book, has a huge problem with this movie. Now, there's always been a debate for so many years, which is better? Is it the book or is it the movie? In my opinion, it is the movie. I have the book, I bought the book, but I haven't yet read it yet, so I need to sit down one day and read the book so I can finally give my honest opinion, which is better. But as of right now, it's the movie that is better than the book. And so on a scale of 1 to 5, I give this movie a solid 5 out of 5. This movie, again, I cannot say it enough, will forever be a classic. And if you are a horror movie fan like I am, this needs to be a part of your collection now. So yes, I give it a solid 5 out of 5. My all-time favorite kill/death in this movie is at the end when Jack Torrance fails at killing his family. He ends up being frozen to death in the snow and ice right before the movie ends, when the camera shows Jack frozen in the snow. That is my favorite death because it's such a great visual to look at every time. And and then of course that famous scene where the camera is zooming in on that famous picture from the Overlook Hotel ballroom dance from 1921. So that is my reason to believe that the hotel created Jack as a recreation of Delbert Grady to kill his family. Now that may sound very wrong, so if you're a Shining fan and you know more about that, please help me out in the description bar down, or in the comment section down below, excuse me. But so that's that famous scene right there. But yeah, very awesome movie. I cannot watch it enough. It is the go-to movie I watch every time when Halloween rolls around. And fall's coming up quick. And then also before I end this video, the impact of this movie. I got this shirt from Halloween Horror Nights 27 last year at Universal Orlando because they had The Shining as a house last year in their lineup for HHN 27. That house was so well done. It was true to the movie. They had the hedge maze. It was snowing in the hedge maze. They had the Overlook Hotel. They had the blood elevator scene. That's another iconic scene in the film. But that house at Halloween Horror Nights 27 was the Shining house at HHN 27 was an awesome, very well done made. It was true to the movie, I will say that. Very, very true to the movie. And I wish I could go back in time and revisit that house over and over and over again, because I will never get tired of walking through that house, and I'll never get tired of watching this movie. Well, thank you so much for watching episode 2 of HHN Dawg's horror movie reviews. That's going to end it today. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Stay tuned for next week as I review Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, released in 1978. So stay tuned for that next week. And until next time, everybody, I will see you all in the doghouse.